My favorite class is actually one I'm taking right now. It's called Human Genes and Disease. Professor Lycan is the one who teaches it. And I love that class because I'm really into science, health field, and it's all about diseases that we're doing right now. Breast cancer, Alzheimer's, depression, Parkinson's, stuff like that. We're really diving into the literature, trying to figure out like what's going on right now.
Gender and sexuality in the U.S. society, and it's the intro gender studies class. And this class just completely flipped how I looked at the world and changed how I was going to look at my life every day and also my academics. It just sort of taught me to look at everything that I take as normal and to break it down and to think about how the world around us is made, which has just, changed my everyday life, and then also every single project I've done since then in school.
I am a research assistant for Professor Todd Lochner. And so getting to work with a professor doing independent research was very unexpected. That's not something that I came into college thinking students do, especially at a liberal arts college. So I think that speaks to the community at Lewis and Clark, that faculty are committed to building with students and the ability of students at the college.
The amount of research opportunities that there actually were. I was coming in here, I thought there would be a few, but when I actually got here, there was far more than I could actually count, and I'm really thankful for that.
Junior year, I did political science research methods with Ellen Selgin, and our final project was a quantitative statistical analysis of the topic of our choice. And I chose to look at the NYPD 2010 Stop, Frisk, and Question database. So it was the first time that I was really exposed to these problems in the criminal justice system, and that was kind of a jumping off point for the rest of my academic research. I really am so glad that I started with it in that class, because if I hadn't done the quantitative approach with her, then I probably would have missed out on this entire statistical perspective to the criminal justice system.
I was really fortunate to get my lab science done in Australia. And so whether we were doing mini projects in the field or doing classroom work, it was great to work with the students that were on the trip with me, but also the professors who had taken their time to come and spend time with us.
Something else that I've really enjoyed about my time here is the time to explore a lot of different things. Being able to explore Oregon and being able to explore classes of different major and try and take ceramics and take French for a few years and try to take biology and have it be hard, but still have learned valuable things from that. And I've found that it's all applicable to everything I think about in class. All of my classes have always crossed over, and that's crossed over into my life. And that has been a really amazing part that I think they don't really tell you at NSO, that everything you do is relevant to whatever you continue to do.
As you continue on with your college experience, you start to realize that everything that you learn ties to, everything that you're doing at the moment.
I wanted to study counterterrorism in Kenya, so who's doing it and why. And then that led to the fact that there was a counterterrorism policy passed in Kenya this last December that basically kicked a lot of Somali refugees out of Kenya. So it severely limited the amount of refugees that could stay in Kenya. And I wanted to know why. What does that have to do with counterterrorism? And so I started looking into that, and it has a lot to do with ethnic violence or politics. And so there are all these different factors that are involved in counterterrorism, and sometimes laws are passed not only for reasons of counterterrorism.
I wrote, Capstone. I wanted to do something that would sustain my interest for the rest of the semester, so I talked about comedy and race in comedy, and how when comedians talk about race, satirical uses of race can be informing, can be used as a public pedagogy about race, and get people to reflect on what they hold to or they know to be true. And so that was a really fun, not fun process per se, but it turned out well. I felt good about it at the end. I put a lot of hard work into it.
I think one thing that makes Lewis and Clark unique is just really how much interaction there is between professors and students. and how there's an interface for students and professors to really communicate and connect. And knowing that even in, I've had so many different professors in my biology major, but knowing that after each class, they know my name, they know a part of my story, and we've developed some sort of mentorship together where I've learned from them and they've learned from me. And I think that's really powerful.